Nice keys on the beat.
You know, sometimes, not every time, but most times, more often than not, the jam is so heavy we can't even get the show started.
Still.
Yeah, you have to let the jam
The
sink
vibration.
into you. Exactly, let the vibration sink into your soul, man. Feel it in the depths of your spirit. That's what that music is about. Stagnation Crypto Warriors, welcome back to the channel.
Champions.
It's an interesting Monday, top of the week to you. Okay. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about trust and rights. You see, trust is earned, I would say.
Yep.
So is respect,
Mm-hmm.
right? But your rights is not something you earn. You're born with them, just like you're born with your arm, right?
Mm-hmm.
How we choose to
Utilize your hands.
yeah, exactly,
Remix, baby.
how we choose to negotiate and interact and coexist with each other around our rights is a matter of courtesy and, again, respect and trust,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we'll talk a little bit about that, looking at some articles, actually, right? Some posts, some publications that have been made. Speaking of the SEC, right? This
We're going after the SEC this morning on President's Day.
yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say we're going after the SEC. We're just highlighting some things that we have spoken about previously, because this is not the first time that we are coming up, we're saying these things, right?
Nope.
We've mentioned it previously before that these people are engaged in regulation by enforcement, and I think more and more experts are starting to see that now. Interestingly, but when things are going wrong generally, right? Those who are farther away from the blast generally don't take action quick enough because they're not affected at that point in time. If you can look at it like Bitcoin as well, right? People in the West probably don't feel the sense of urgency to understand Bitcoin and get moving with that technology, versus in developing nations, you see that when inflation is just out of control, rampant inflation, the people get the pinch sooner. I think it's the same sort of thing here. People like Schiff and all the other investment experts do not realize that they'll get the pinch until the pinch starts approaching them.
Yeah.
Right.
I would say if you were involved in the robbery,
Mm-hmm.
you feel good. But then when the robbery happens to you, you're like, wait a second, what's going on here?
Yes. What is going on here?
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at the ultimate asset on earth. Lord, that's on the wrong page here.
Right there.
Let's see which one's there. There we go. That'll work.
We're looking at it on the 1 minute chat though.
Bitcoin. Okay, the ultimate asset on earth.
You said BetChain.
I know. I was over there on VChain, just
Upside down.
mourning the liquidation.
Upside down, head and shoulder.
Go ahead, sir.
Upside down, head and shoulder. Well, looking at it at the 4-hour chart right now, because that's what you have it at.
Yep.
We have upside down, head and shoulder, or inverted head and shoulder right now. So anything is possible. Yeah, that's the shoulder and the other shoulder there.
Absolutely.
We're still in a bullish situation. MFI is above 50. People are trading right now, so of course you see those red candles. If it does fall back, which should not probably happen because it's an inverted head and shoulder, we should at least see, man, if we cross 5285, 52,857, we could see 54,000. Because that's just where the Fibonacci level is right now. and maybe it looks like it's bouncing off of that IR52.
The next point of resistance.
Yeah, next point of resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah, inverted head and shoulder, and that is a huge sell point as well. So this is just traders doing what they do.
Yeah.
But the money flow index is above 50, so that is still bullish. This is just the red candle that you see right now are just traders doing what traders do, but the entire sentiment is still bullish.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, I see what you're saying there with that termination point around 52,000,
yeah.
was it $52,849
Mm-hmm.
about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do. Once we
Cross that.
close a
Yep.
candle and open another one above that,
Yep.
that is when we have the range or
Yep.
the, how would you say, ATR.
Yep.
The ATR can now repeat itself and
Yep,
we'll
yep,
move on
yep,
to the
yep.
other side.
But I have to say that I noticed that we've stopped there 3 times now, or around that range 3 times.
Mm.
So that could be a triple top as well. And the triple top is not a good thing. We could be back at 50,000, if of course the big institutional funds want to buy cheaper.
Mm.
And if they go that low, just buy more.
Listen, fourth time is a charm. Okay. Anyway, as we saw there, Bitcoin is trading at 52K. Just some other interesting key points here. We see that the 24-hour, or at least the 1 month high, was 52,809. 1 month low at $38,774.
Just a month ago, we were at 38,000.
Absolutely. It's incredible. It's almost like it moves in silence, right? And of course, we see that market cap for Bitcoin is now up to $1.02 trillion. And $1 right now is 1,922 sats. Imagine a day where $1 might be just like 50 sats or something crazy like that.
That's deflationary.
Yeah. What a day. I mean, you've seen what Saylor is doing with his
MicroStrategy.
MicroStrategy, diluting people's
Stocks.
stocks, etc. too. What a reversal Bitcoin is playing on these people. It's an incredible technology. We've never ever seen a time like this in our lifetime. Okay. And of course, as always, we have BK Crypto in the house.
Boom
Listen,
shakalaka.
ladies and gentlemen, go over to BK Crypto Coach, okay, and check out what we have going on in collaboration with a great team from NY, Abi. And of course, they also have some merch. Please be sure to check out the store.
BKCrypto.com.
Exactly. Good people, man. We have to always support each other. You got to remember that.
Yes, sir.
By the way, I really enjoyed the interviews over the weekend. We spoke with Jimo, right, who is Bitcoiner in Nigeria.
Yeah, with Nones.
Yes. Yeah, the Nones app.
Is it No Ounce?
Man.
Am I pronouncing it correctly?
No one's.
Ounce,
Yeah, No
yeah.
One's app. Very powerful stuff there, man.
Yeah,
Literally,
P2P.
it's like breaking the gates of hell. And you know, people don't talk about it too often. As you can see clearly, everyone is talking about the ETF. But you know, when you only speak about the ETF, it just means that you're only focusing on price,
Making money.
making money, right? The rest of the functionalities of these things, like peer to peer, which is the main reason, the main purpose as to why this thing was released in the first place, it's not spoken about so much. And the power there is still alive, right? Shall we jump into today's topic?
Let's do it.
As you can see, the topic there, trust betrayed. Okay, we
Funny enough,
yeah,
Bitcoin, trust no one, verify.
yeah, trust don't verify. Look at that. Look at that. They're already solving the problems without even trying. You know, trust is something that you have to earn over time, right? And trust is like super glue of some sort that has its limits. But as long as the trust is there, okay, generally people can go very far. I mean, look at the US dollar. People use it across the globe. At least it was the world reserve currency because America had the trust, the reputation, okay? And then you add on top of that I guess some laws, right? Some guidelines as to how we're going to operate amongst ourselves, being the constitution. And this thing is protected by the force of that government.
Military.
Exactly. But when you start making that trust become shaky, right? You see that things will start to unravel very fast. Most importantly, I think that we are at a time right now where people need to really just bring in that reading comprehension education, read things or hear things and really take a deep dive to understand what is being said, interpretation, right?
Mhm.
Versus looking for words to respond to,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
It's almost like, some women out there where they just want you to tell them something nice, what they want to hear,
Babe,
even
do I
if you're
look
lying to
fat?
them,
Babe, do
right?
I look fat?
Exactly.
Of course you look fat.
But what you want at this point in time really is the hard truth. Here's some of what we're talking about here.
Before you jump into
Yeah,
that ad
definitely.
truth, right?
Yeah.
We'll talk about trust in the US dollar,
Hmm.
right? And then you look at the logo, literally says it. I come with peace and I come with the wow or with the weapons, right? The
Hmm.
peace leaf and the weaponry, right? And
Yes.
when we look at the US dollar, right, after the Bretton Woods agreement,
Mm,
it was supposed to be a peaceful agreement,
mm,
right? That, if you trust in the US dollar, will ensure peace around the world. But
yeah.
we've not been given peace. We've actually abusing the SWIFT system by sanctioning countries
Yeah.
because they actually trusted in the US dollar. Now
Yeah.
we're actually weaponizing the dollar instead of using it as a tool for peace.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that has backfired
Big
spectacularly
time.
as well, because it's almost like the US is going into this North Korean mode and they don't even have control of the situation. These are the things that are causing this situation. We see here Peter Brandt once again trusting the SEC chair Gary Gensler.
Mm, mm, mm.
Says he has a long history of not protecting investors.
We know that.
I mean, I think you could start saying that the guy is not trustworthy from the point where you saw that he was teaching blockchain at MIT. So he fully understands the technology. You have to understand it to teach it, right?
Hey, for you to be a professor,
Yeah. And
sure.
then you head over to the SEC, and all of a sudden, you don't understand these things. You have to change things around to make it
Mhm.
fit.
Did you
So,
see? Have you guys seen the interview where he was trying to explain the ledger and saying it's no different than an Oracle database? I was like, say what?
exactly.
And you were a professor?
Exactly. Listen, personally, I think I also have my own experience. Everyone here probably should have an experience of the SEC screwing them over.
Mhm.
I'll give you one that might strike some fresh memories in your mind. If you remember when the GameStop
GME,
situation happened,
Wall Street bets.
right? When Wall Street froze our profits, we had outperformed them, we had outdone them, we had outsmarted them, and we got in. And what did they do when they're about to lose? They froze our profits.
Move the goalposts.
There has never been a day in my life when I sat and thought to myself, who do we call for this situation? And I was like, this is what the SEC does. But what did the SEC do in that situation?
Just brush over it.
Yeah.
Actually help them.
Okay. Listen,
This thing was frozen for days, man.
it was frozen for days,
For
man.
days.
And you were going into losses. You could not get out, but the thing was still moving. How is it frozen, but the numbers are moving?
But they could get out.
Yeah, exactly. So it was frozen for us, not for them.
Because if it's frozen, the price should not move.
Exactly. So that's just an example of what we're referring to here, right?
Trust
Here's
no
the
one.
thing.
Verify.
So this guy, Mr. Brandier, he stressed that Gensler has a long history of not looking out for the interests of investors. Right?
That's the fact.
He also emphasizes that the SEC, or Gensler specifically, was instrumental in the bankruptcy of a major company and was also the getaway driver of the bankruptcy of another, costing customers an estimated $100 million. Yeah.
Dollars.
You see, if this guy was looking out for consumer interest, Lord, if you only look at the crypto space itself and how many companies have probably gone down because of this never-ending,
Lawsuits.
yeah,
After lawsuit.
right. You could look at Binance as well.
That was the total setup,
Right.
man.
You can look at Binance, you can look at Tether, okay? And this is not the first time this is happening. If you look at Kim.com with everything that is cloud today, it's the same thing. We also see Peter Schiff. We just wrote through this and then we'll come back and talk about it. We also see Peter Schiff warning that the SEC could change the definition of security, right? And he expects a lot of investors to be retroactively fined.
Peter Schiff of all people.
Yeah. I mean, listen, this is supposed to be a trustworthy agency, okay, who is here to protect your rights. I think that looking at these things here, these people have already ripped the constitution and thrown it out of the window.
The fabrics of the Constitution, because
Exactly.
that should actually be coming from Congress and Senate,
Yeah.
not from the SEC.
Well,
Your job is to regulate, and you can't even do that. Now you want to start changing definitions?
exactly. But you bring up a very good point there, because guess what Peter Schiff says? He says, how can the SEC, oh yeah, how can the SEC, a government agency on its own, change the definition of a security dealer so that it can regulate something that is not actually a security dealer without any law having been passed to authorize such regulation? We are a nation of laws, not bureaucrats. I think Peter Schiff was sleeping until this moment, because as you know, man, it's not. I'm not going to say that the guy is not my favorite person. It's actually one of my favorite people, because everything that he says is spot on, except that the vehicle that he's using, or that he completely swears by, is not Bitcoin,
No.
which is not a problem.
The guy likes the horse buggy. He
Yeah.
refuses to leave the horse buggy alone. He does not want to get in the
Absolutely.
automobile.
Yeah, but again, it's not a problem. How I see it is, in this situation, sometimes you just have to pick a side,
Mm.
and then time will tell the rest. You see, because it's like they say, may the best person win, or may the best option win, right?
Yeah.
And I think that so far, I think we can all agree that Bitcoin
Is winning.
has been dragging gold in the dirt. Okay. There we go.
Thanks.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, this is clear violation. These people don't even follow the constitution anymore. If you look at some of the funding that has been happening between Ukraine and Gaza, I think
Israel, Gaza.
things not approved by Congress, right? They use this excuse of this is an emergency, and they get around Congress to essentially right now.
Yemen, Iran.
Right. So this country is currently in a war, which has not been approved by anyone.
Not by the American people.
Exactly. So this is a continuation of exactly what we're talking about there, right? However, I spoke about trust and of course respect and your rights in the beginning. All too often in this space, it seems to me that it's I don't want to say it's fear mongering, but as content creators, people trying to educate people about Bitcoin and things like that, I think that sometimes we maybe kind of roll too much on the fear mongering side, where we keep pointing out issues without pointing out
progress.
Yeah, progress, the other side of the story,
your rights,
right? The counterbalance to the situation. But we know that there is people like the I think it's Satoshi Fund, which is a non-profit organization that is also helping to push regulations to protect the rights of the people. And this is where I'm actually going to point out why I said that your rights is something that you're born with, right? Because here we have this Blockchain Basics Act, which has been introduced in these
Ohio,
states over here.
South Carolina, Mississippi. I think Texas already had something similar.
Yeah.
Florida does as well.
Yeah, I think Texas just announced it on like on a megahorn or something like that. Just like, yeah, don't mess with us. So anyway, this here is essentially a series of regulation aimed at safeguarding people's cryptocurrency rights at a state level. This has been introduced in 3 other states. So essentially, this is covering your rights to buy crypto, trade in crypto, pay and receive payments in crypto,
and hold your own crypto.
Yes, peer-to-peer, running nodes, and mining Bitcoin as well. So that is great. However, we are looking at a fight for cryptocurrency rights. And I'm asking myself, when was our cryptocurrency rights taken away? Right? And when was this cryptocurrency stuff illegal? Sorry, I was going to share this with you guys here as well. So this is a summary of the Bitcoin Basics Act, right? Put together by the Satoshi Fund there. And again, the rights of individuals to hold and use digital assets like cryptocurrencies are under attack by federal agencies. We already see this, right? Blockchain Basics ensures that Americans' digital financial freedom ensures the financial freedom of Americans. And of course, it goes on to speak about everything you already mentioned, the double O, mining and everything else.
Right, to transact, wallets. You know what I found interesting though?
What is that?
I learned something new this morning. So we talked about on several shows. We've talked about how we are constantly getting stolen from, and our store of value,
Yeah.
basically our rights, have been stolen from on a regular basis. For
Yeah.
example, your 401k, you want to take money out, you got to pay a fee.
Mhm.
After you retire, you got to pay a fee. And I'm starting to find out that there are actually states out here that are supposedly poor or too conservative
Mhm.
that actually gives you your right. Like it's your right to own a gun. It's your right to store your value.
Yeah.
Mississippi, Ohio are those states, and they
Yeah.
all happen to be. I'm not a red or blue state kind of guy. I'm just my own freedom, sovereign person. But I find it quite interesting that it's mostly the red states that are pushing for that.
Mhm.
For example, in Mississippi, you can retire and your retirement money doesn't get taxed.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, but Mississippi is poor. Maybe I should go put on my Bitcoin money in Mississippi.
Absolutely.
you know, you learn every day. Like
Yeah.
your right is your right. You should be free to go to a state that supports your abilities to have your rights.
Yeah. Your rights is definitely important. And I think it's very important as well to exercise your rights every time you can. Because if you do not exercise your rights, you will lose them. It seems to be the clear situation, at least in this environment right now. You have
Mhm.
to exercise. I told you about when I was in Texas, and I go around and I see like all these guys, they're carrying guns and stuff, and I'm like, well, if they can carry a firearm
Mhm.
around, I'm going to do the same. Not necessarily because I'm aiming to, be
Pop
causing
someone.
any issues,
Yep.
but it is just the simple fact that if another group can do it, I just need to make sure that everybody understands as well that I am part of the group that can also do it because I'm also covered by the same
Laws.
constitutional rights,
Yep.
right? But yeah, absolutely. And when you do not exercise these rights, right, you tend to lose them. So one of my key points here is that, for one, I think it is very important for all of us as a society right now to be able to go back and really put some meaning behind the words that we believe
Mhm.
protect us, right? Because we could be here in the United States claiming that we are the most free
Mm.
or most constitutionally protected. Meanwhile, there could be another environment where people are free and protected by the fact that they have more respect and stronger morals than people in another area.
Good example would be on X, right? We
Mhm.
some kind of have some sort of respect and ability to talk about what we'll talk about on X.
Yeah,
But Instagram blocked us the moment we started talking about banks.
yeah,
Shut us down. Some
absolutely.
madness.
This is very true. And of course, the fact that we have to be fighting for. What are your thoughts on this? Is it normal that we should be? And I would like everyone's take on this. Is it
Mm.
normal that we have to be fighting for something that is already ours, like our rights? We spoke to, and I'll give you a bit of context.
Yep.
When we spoke to Jimo
Yeah.
over the weekend, that's going to be a great interview. We cannot wait to drop it.
Yep.
He said something that stealing is not African,
Mm. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I remembered back to a time when I was back home and the way we operated, right? I was running my mother's store at the time. And
As a child, by the way.
yeah, as a child, at your
It's not
age.
child
Yeah,
abuse.
exactly. It's not child abuse, man. I didn't even know that child abuse was like. Anyway, when I leave to go get supplies for the store, I would leave the store just open, right? No one would take it. If someone came through and took something from there, they would usually leave the money on the stool. I used to put this stool right in the middle of the door,
Mhm.
right? There was a chair there, and they'll put the money there and grab what they want and they leave. When I look at that and I look at the way the SEC operates and all these other people here, I say to myself, why is it that they are not approaching things from an angle of let's make sure we protect the people? But if you look at it, it's more so like we're going to continuously steal from you unless you try to fight against it. What do you think of that concept?
You've said this multiple times that
Mhm.
our ability to identify what our value
Yep.
is been stolen from us, and people just don't see it.
Mhm.
Except if you've grown up in another culture, maybe in another country, maybe in the east or in the south, you're like, wait a second, this should be like standard. So
Absolutely.
a good example, like you just said, was that your store of value, you put it there. If you want to take some of that store of value, you pay for it. You just don't take it for free
Yes.
and convince me and say, oh, for my safety, I will put a dog at the store.
Yeah.
Right. And then I will charge you a fee for having that dog at the store.
Mhm.
You don't need a dog at the store to protect your valuables. Your valuables should be your valuables, and if you want it, you pay for it and you move out.
Absolutely.
Simple as that. Nobody's coming to steal shit. They should not be coming to steal shit, which is why I actually like the old Bitcoin idea, is that if you want to trade your valuables, I know for a fact that it's in your wallet because the blockchain supports the fact that we can verify, right? Then I trust you to transfer that transaction peer to peer. I do not need a bank to verify that your money is in that other account. No, the blockchain has already verified that that money is there. We just boom, boom, do the transaction, no fees, or actually low fees, and boom, transaction is done. People are not saying that. Why do you have to rely on somebody else to give you that sense of trust? And that somebody else is stealing from you, from actually both of you in the middle of that transaction.
That is true.
Come on, man.
Yeah, and collecting information. I like that.
Collecting information and selling your information.
Absolutely. I like what you said there. Using your freedom to transact, and that transaction is automatically verified, so it's trustworthy without the need for a third party. And this is essentially what Bitcoin is, and this is a very basic concept that society is rolling into. Why is there so much pushback against it from the most free nation on earth? This is something we all have to really ask ourselves. Let's look at some comments.
Are we really free? Freedom!
We're free in our minds. We're free in our minds. As long as you believe it in your mind, you're free. Okay. Oh man, it's like those people that you try to talk to them about poverty, go out and work hard, and they tell you that they are spiritually rich. Devil punish you.
Don't worry, man. You're just gonna wait for the Democrats to send you some money.
Exactly. All right. It says trust and verify. We hit the T-shirt.
BK Crypto has a trust and verify T-shirt. That's what he's trying to say.
Oh, okay. I like that. So, hey, listen, man, check out their store. They have some stuff there. And we have Mr. Ansel in the house. He says the big banks wrote them a letter to change the definition. Serious FOMO. Well, it seems that the big banks and these guys, there is no difference.
I actually don't think we have a democracy anymore, because the big banks, the big guys with the big money, control what our regulators do.
Absolutely. However, I still want to point out to people, recognize that we are winning. That's for sure. You know, sometimes we cannot expect these guys to come tell us we're winning. You have to just recognize that we are winning as Bitcoiners, as people who are in the blockchain environment, right? Looking for other alternatives, right, to whatever we find to be the problem. For me personally, I think you might agree with this as well. I see that if we can fix the money, we can fix all the other areas that are problematic for us.
That is why we call you champions.
Hey.
Stay winning.
You know what I mean? You aim for the neck of the dragon. You know what I'm saying? Is what it is. All right. We have Will 45 in the house. He says, good morning.
Bonjour.
Good morning to you, champion. Salutations. Sawu Boena.
That's
some Zulu.
Let's go, man.
Yeah, we're getting international out here.
Yeah, man. It's about time we start using some of those African languages. So.
Yeah, bro. All right. We have David Middleton. Says thanks for the content. Brother.
Is that Reggie Middleton in disguise?
I don't know. Maybe there's relation. We can never tell.
Is that Reggie Middleton's brother?
How do you know if it's not his forefather? Anyway, yes, sir. We appreciate you as well tuning in, especially at 9 a.m. You know, which, speaking of 9 a.m. double up,
champion.
9 a.m. is nice on a Monday, but we believe that there's probably some other time slots that we can probably be more effective as well.
Yeah, we believe that there's a lot more souls awake at later times during the day.
Yeah.
And we've done our what you call it, open AI.
Our chainalysis.
Chainalysis.
We've done our chainalysis, yeah.
To move our block.
Yeah.
To a later time in the week and in the day.
Absolutely. So we're going to figure out that time, and we're going to definitely once we lock that in, we'll share that with everyone so that you all can definitely join us. And we're definitely going to go live. We'd like to have more people engage with us on the show.
Yeah.
more interesting topics, more people invited onto the show.
Mhm.
As you will see with some of the interviews we already started doing. Except this time we'll be going live.
Yep, and tell your friends.
Amazing. There we go.
Yeah, I want to touch more souls, man. Let you realize that your freedoms
Yeah.
are your rights.
Come on. Preach to them. David Middleton says it's 7:30 where he is at.
Damn,
Yeah.
early morning champion.
And I just like good crypto content. So we appreciate it too.
That's a real
You know,
champion, man.
we'll keep
That
coming
guy
through.
wakes up exercising,
Well,
man.
he's 7:30 a.m. So he's probably close to somewhere that is close to the time frame of Dubai, because Dubai is 6:30 right now.
Mm.
I wonder where that is. If you go maybe to the right, if you go towards Africa, wouldn't the time be
No, super afternoon.
it's super afternoon? That's for sure.
So
Yeah, okay.
Central Time is 6. It's 9:30. It's 8:30 right now. So
He might be in Arizona.
yeah, somewhere
Right,
around there.
somewhere
Yeah,
there. Yeah, cool. Okay. Wow, look at that, man. We just try to decipher. Oh, I was right.
Dang.
Dude, you didn't even have to have IP address, man. We did decipher your location. Incredible stuff.
We moved the time zone.
Incredible stuff, man. Damn. Yeah, the noggin is still working. Don't worry. Anything else, man.
Man, guys, it's President's Day. Let's just come to the reality, people, that our presidents are no longer the old school presidents that we used to have in the US, where they fought for people's rights, for people to maintain their rights and constitute laws with Congress that protects our rights. Right now, I think we just live in a situation where oligarchs control not just our leaders, but also our presidents. Unfortunately, even our pastors.
Yeah.
Interestingly,
but interestingly, I actually found out that churches actually do get a curriculum now. If you want your church to be tax free, there are certain things that they're on the curriculum that you can preach about and stuff you cannot preach about.
Dang.
So, yeah, so I found that out in an interesting conversation with someone. Yeah,
there you go.
So who can you really trust? Everyone is a hidden alien.
And once you start understanding Bitcoin, you start realizing that it touches every one of these things. Absolutely. We must fix the money problem. Once we fix that, we can get our rights back.
Absolutely. I agreed with that. What's up to you, Chloe Dior? Grand Rising, 6:30 in Cali. Amazing. Hopefully you guys are all right over there in Cali. You know, from what I'm seeing recently, it seems that the devil has released his minions over there in Cali. All kinds of crazy things are happening.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll let you go enjoy your Christmas. That's a Christmas. President's Day.
Christmas Day or President's Day.
President's Day.
Yeah, you're 2 months behind.
Listen, man, I'm still hearing jingles in my head. Maybe it's from all the gains that are coming through in this freaking market right now.
Let's go.
But, you know, it is what it is. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, please like, share, subscribe. Okay. Of course, also subscribe to the Gentlemen of Crypto's channel as well as our channel. We are also on X as Stackfin and Spotify as Stack. Until next time.
By the way,
yeah, what's that?
Somebody hit us up on YouTube and it's like, where the hell is the podcast? They want to be able to listen to our podcast when they're driving. I guess it's a trucker.
Oh,
we gotta put time on that part.
The fool. Yes. Brother, your request will be fulfilled. Have no fear. I'm gonna get on that right away. Okay. David says thanks. Have a good day. Have a good day too, brother. All right. That's it, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for the next time that we're going to agree to come online. All right. Drink water, eat vegetables. Peace.